why do you look so down?
I want to prepare for the NMMS, but I have no idea where to start.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm here to help. Gory Smart Channel has everything you need for NMMS prep. Just check it out. Subscribe, like, and share.
Really? That's awesome. I'll subscribe to Gowrie Smart Channel right away. Thank you so much.
Good evening, all of you. Now we will discuss about the lesson metals and non-metals. Before going to know about the metals and non-metals, let us observe the items and utensils what we will use in our daily life. Okay. Every day, if you observe in our kitchen, we will observe different kinds of utensils and different kinds of materials. Okay, the stove mostly made up of either steel or iron we will use, and also the utensils we will use, whether it is maybe a steel or aluminium foils, the made up of aluminium foils. Some glass items also we will observe, some glass items. Glasses, if you observe in the water glasses we will use, if we are taking juices in glass, made up of glasses, the glasses which we will use with a made up of glasses, or some plastic glasses also we will use, steel glasses we will use. Okay, for in summer season, to keep cool water, who are not having refrigerators, they will use pots which is made up of clay. They will store water in pots. After some time we will observe that the water becomes cool. The pot is made up of clay. So different materials we will use to prepare different things. Different kind of materials we will use we will use for different things. For suppose either table or chair, if you want to make, means we can prepare with either wood or iron. Nowadays we are using plastics also to prepare table one. Okay, the material is different from the thing. If we classify the materials what we will use in our day-to-day life, we can classify them into two kinds, that is metals and non-metals. How can we differ the metals and non-metals? What is the difference between these two? By seeing, by observing, by touching, can we say whether it is a metal or non-metal? What are the properties they possess? Let us see. If we observe, most of the ladies use different kinds of ornaments made up of gold and silver. Made up of gold and silver. They seems to be very shine. Gold and silver is also a metals. Examples of metals. They are shine. Shining is one of the property of a metal. In our school, after completion of the period, we will observe a ringing bell. After by observing the ringing bell, we can conclude that the session was closed for that time. Okay, ringing a bell, that is made up of iron. Okay, that is a metal. So it is sonorous, which makes noise. That is called sonorous. Okay, let us take an example. Take a metal plate with one hand and take a clay ball with one hand and throw them on the floor with some force. If you observe carefully, the metal plate makes so much of sound, but the clay ball may not have sound, and also it broken up. So clay ball is a non-metal and the plate was made up of metal. So metal are very hard. Metals are very hard. So hard utensils we can prepare by using the metals like stoves. Otherwise automobile engineering section we will use the metals very widely. Preparing trains, machines, etc. We will prepare trains with Metals only. So metals are very hard. So this is also one of the property of a metal. Sonorous means makes noise, makes sound, and shining, lustrous means it shines. Metals looks like shining. Example, gold and silver. Comparatively with other metals and with non-metals also, they both are very shine. The copper wires, we will use wires. They are preparing some wires in electrical department. The wires are made up of copper and aluminium. So, the preparation of wires is called, the property is called ductility. Metals have the property of ductility. For suppose if a clay ball, if you by using a hammer, if you hammer it, what you will observe? It becomes like a powder. But if you take a metal, either copper or aluminum, you hit it flattens. It flattens. That flattens means it is called malleability. The property is called malleability, means we can make it as a foils. We can make them as a foils. That property is called malleability. And also if you observe while preparing food, if you forget a material which is made up of metal, after some time if you touch that metal, what you will observe? Metal stirrer, if you observe, what you will observe? You will get that heat. So metal is a good conductor of heat. We are using metals in electrical wires for the supply of electricity. So they are good conductor of electricity. Okay. If we observe what are the properties of metals means, first one, lustrous. It is shining. All metals looks very shine. So metals are shining. That property is called lustrous. Next, metals are sonorous, which makes sound. When you hammer it, it makes so much sound. So sonorous. Metals are sonorous. Next, metals are malleability. By hammering that one, we can make them as a foils or flattens. We can make them as a foils or sheets. So that quality is called malleability. Metals we can prepare like wires. Wires. So that property is called ductility. Including these four, they are good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. They are good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. Means it transports the heat throughout the body. Metals transports the heat throughout the body. So it is a good conductor of heat. Okay, if you are observing in the electric conductors, as a conductor, we will use metals. In all these conductors, silver is the good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. Silver is good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. And also one other thing, we already know that matter exists in three states: solid, liquid and gaseous state. Always all metals are in solid state and also very hard. All metals are very in solid state and also very hard in their property, but except one metal, that is called mercury. The mercury is a metal which is in liquid state at room temperature. Which is in liquid state at room temperature. So all metals are solids except one metal, that is called mercury. Mercury is obtained in liquid state in room temperature. Mercury is obtained in liquid state in room temperature. This is all about the metals. We will use very widely metals in our day-to-day life. We are preparing utensils by using metals. We are preparing doors, tables, etc. In our day-to-day life, we will use metals very widely. In the same manner, industrial purpose also, all machines are made up of metals. Trains, buses, by preparing cars, in automobile engineering, widely metals are useful. The next thing is non-metals. What are the non-metals? Oxygen. If you observe oxygen, it is a non-metal. Generally, it is in gaseous state. Chlorine is a non-metal. Sodium is a metal, but we can cut with a knife. That sodium we can cut with a knife. Sodium is also a metal. Some non-metals, some other carbon. Carbon, coke we will use in our day-to-day life. Coke is a non-metal. So what are the uses? What are the qualities of non-metals? Metals, the properties which have metals, non-metals do not have the type of metals. They are not lustrous, means they are not shiny. They are not sonorous, they do not make noise. Take a clay ball and hammer it. You cannot see the, you cannot watch the, you cannot observe the sound, but the clay becomes powder. Okay, it changes its shape also. The clay ball becomes powder if you hammer it. Okay, it cannot be lustrous, it cannot be ductile, or it cannot be malleable. Means it can, we cannot prepare sheets by using a non-metal, we cannot prepare wires by using a non-metal, and also they are not good conductor of heat. They are poor conductor of heat and poor conductor of electricity. Non-metals are poor conductor of heat and poor conductor of electricity. So, what is the use of these non-metals in our day-to-day life? Okay, we will use coke as a fuel in our day-to-day life. Coke as a fuel. We will use coke as a fuel. We will use coal as a fuel. We use chlorine. Chlorine for the purifying of water. We will use chlorine for the purifying of water. And also some non-metals like potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus. We will use them as a fertilizers. We will use them in fertilizers. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it.